Aries, a very warm welcome. My name is Drew. This is Modern Tarot. Those of you that are new here, welcome. And those of you returning, welcome back. Guys, this is the month of August 2025. Where has this year gone, hey? Aries. Right, so one more shuffle. I'm going to go straight. One more. I'm going to go straight into this reading, Aries. Oh, look, that really wants to jump out. I've got to take it for you. I always do. Eight of Cups, Aries. What are we walking away from? Okay, people, places, and things. I remember in your last reading, you having a bit of a coal, letting go of people, places, and things that no longer served you, where you didn't feel that you were inspired or growing. Walking away from attachment styles, Aries. Walking away from anything that doesn't sit in line with your highest good. So let's have a look. Center of your reading, Aries. Temperance in reverse. Okay, this is a lack of balance. And I think it really is, you're walking away from anything that's imbalanced throughout the month of August, all right? Because I had to give you that card, guys. You know, when they jump in readings like that, they've got to come out. So you're walking away, Aries, from anything that doesn't give you internal balance, anything that's confusing, anything where you've got to second guess yourself, second guess people's motives. It really is about getting very clear. What stays, what goes? The challenge for you. Nine of Swords. All right, sometimes you do get a little bit anxious, Aries, just what you're thinking throughout the month of August. You know, when we're letting go, we start to get anxious because we think, all right, oh God, life is empty. All right, but no, it's free. This is your previous reading I think it was the end of July. We're free to fill that space in our life with new inspiration, people, places, and things that are in line with who we are, Aries. Reason why it's all happening, Three of Cups in reverse. Some of you guys are walking away from situations that you don't want to reunite. They just brought you anxiety and all these kind of things, and took you out of balance. All right, recent past, Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity was at play here. The lack thereof, Aries, maybe, or was it equal give and take? Was I loving the person more than they were showing me? Was I giving more of my time? Was I more available than the other person? All these kind of things. And it took you out of balance and took away from your own sense of abundance and well-being. And you're not about reuniting. Your focus, right, Aries, throughout August 2025 is one of where you've let yourself down. Some of you, just be careful of your backs, your physical back. All right, some of you might be healing from, back injuries or these kind of things, but pay attention to your back throughout the month of August, okay? But your focus is, getting over betrayals, self-betrayal, where I let myself down. You know what? I took myself out of balance, People can only take us out of balance if we give them permission, Aries. You would agree. We're all accountable. What you don't see coming towards you is a good tower moment, Aries. This is shocking. And this would be, you might surprise yourself at how strong you are these days, okay? It's a good reading. Look, your energetic field, all right, you're coming out of a time of reflection. Some of you might have really gone through a bit of a spiritual awakening. Some of you, maybe a dark night of the soul, Aries, okay? It's a good place to come from. It's not a great place when you're there, but the other side of it is you're clear. Nothing can hurt me. You become infallible almost, but I'm talking about spiritually. It's kind of like, it is what it is kind of an attitude, because you've seen the light and the dark, So your energetic field is, you might be out there, you might be feeling a little bit more sociable. You've done some major work, Aries. I mean, let's face it, you've been through the ringer. You've had, some shitty times, but you've persevered, okay? You haven't let that Aries fire die. Outside influences, Nine of Cups, all right? This could be a card of celebration. This could be a card of drinking, socializing, these kind of things, all right? This could also be someone fairly smug, but you got the last laugh, Aries. Your fears. Yeah, some of you fear change, all right? We've got death here, okay? Some of you do fear change, starting a new Aries. And do you remember what I was saying to you? That isn't it better to be free than to be stuck in situations that are just taking away from your abundance and making you feel out of balance? So you're free, Aries, even though you don't like to end things, you don't like to move on. You love, right? People, places, and things. Okay. And the outcome, dropping burdens, Aries. Brilliant. You're going to find yourself throughout the month of August feeling a lot lighter. Be opening up again with the Hermit in reverse here after times of maybe spending a lot of time alone, Aries. Some of you might have been feeling a little bit lonely. But, through the dark night of the soul, being taken out of balance, you realize, you know what? I'm alone. I'm not lonely. Okay. Big difference and makes you highly attractive. I just throwing that out there, Aries. So let's clarify this now and have a look at what's really going down throughout the month of August for you. So actually, I just want to clarify that Eight of Cups, that jumper at the start of the reading. What is it, Aries? What's Aries walking away from? What are you walking away from, Aries? Walking away from anything non-reciprocal, Aries. Loving it for you guys, all right? It's come out twice. The recent past, reciprocity was in question, and now you realize that takes me out of balance. I'm walking away from anything that is not even flow. There's a song for you, Pearl Jam, Even Flow. Excuse me, Aries. Yeah, you're walking away from anything where you found yourself giving too much, loving too much, being too available to people that could not show up and give you the same time, care, and respect. Why is Temperance here? All right, in reverse. Yeah, look, Aries, the center of the reading. I think your focus is getting over self-betrayals, how you betrayed yourself, Aries. And we all do it with the best intentions in the world. Excuse me, guys. And so we've got Temperance in reverse and Judgment in reverse as the center of the reading. So it really is about, I did make some poor judgments in the past. I was approaching situations maybe with fantastical thinking, projecting my clarity, my fire onto people without letting them show me. Maybe I was only listening to their words. I did let myself down, okay? Which is brilliant, Aries, about being that aware that, no one can change my state. I'm in control here. So that's the center of the reading. The challenge, right, is the Nine of Swords. Sometimes you get inside your head, Aries, and you may be overthinking or thinking too much about the future. It's a challenge of yours, I think, really. Look, you don't like conflict, Aries. You don't really want to have to go there and be conflictual. But, if you've been dealing with people where you've had to stand up for your rights and stand up for, reciprocity, what is right here? It's a challenge for you but it's part of life, that we have to set boundaries, and we're going to get kickbacks and knockbacks from setting boundaries. People are going to test them. Yeah, you're not about reuniting. I don't know who this is for you guys, but this is someone that's fairly manipulative, a bit of a trickster here, the Magician in reverse here. Some of you might not be really celebrating what you've manifested so far. Okay, just for some of you, not a personal reading, but about reuniting with tricksters, Aries. Yeah, look, there was no new start due to whatever was going on with you, Aries. There was no new start, and it was something to do with reciprocity. Okay, you feel like you betrayed yourself, and your focus now is beginning again, Aries, with the Fool. This is going for it. So I think hats off to you, Aries, from everything that you've been through, everything that you've worked so hard for, even showing up for people that didn't deserve your attention. You know what I mean? It's like now, you know what? My focus is I've let myself down before. I've betrayed myself, but you know what? I'm going for it. This is a brand new me. And it was a whole new world. I think the end of July was about a whole new world for you, doing it differently. Not chasing people down where your Aries competitive spirit is leading the way. You're actually, sitting back now and watching. You're not listening to words, you're watching actions, Aries, which is brilliant. You're asking questions and staying quiet so that people do overspill their information, because you need to check out their agendas, right? Because the last thing you want to do is to go into something like that again. The Tower, why is that here? Okay, what you don't see coming towards you is you might actually be quite shocked, Aries, of how little you give now. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you're being selfish, but I think it's a month about you that you're not putting too much work into things, and you might actually shock yourself. Whereas before you would show up, you would overgive, only to feel resentment within that, you know what, I've been duped again, or I'm being duped, and what is it with me? Why do I end up in these situations? And I think you're going to actually be quite shocked how little you're going to start putting in with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse there. It's good. Okay, your energetic field, yeah, you are following destiny. It's destined now, all right, Aries. You might find that you get out there, you're more sociable, you're doing things in line with who you are, your life path, going for it, those little plans and things that you put off due to other people taking up your time, care, and attention, and your resources, your emotional resources, your zest for life, your feelings of abundance. Your energetic field is coming out of times of being alone and getting out there and chasing the wheel of fortune. Okay, destiny. This is things turning in your favor. You might be feeling quite lucky. All right, so those of you that play the lottery, do it. Outside influences, we've got the Nine of Cups and the Star. Aries, look, this is one of happiness. Some of you are happy that you actually went through this healing phase. Although it wasn't pretty while you were there, Aries, it wasn't nice. You had to fight your corner, deal with people, push people away, call people, cut them out of your life, only to feel maybe a little bit lonely. But now we're free, new inspiration, people, places, and things, And I'm the fool now. This is your focus. I'm the fool. I'm going for it. I've let myself down in the past. Ain't happening again. And so, look, we got double confirmation there. Nine of Cups. Okay. Your fears. Some of you fear to let something end and no longer commit yourself to it. Whatever that might be, Aries, okay? Whereas once before you were super committed to people, even though they weren't giving as much as you. It's a fear of yours to become that badass person that, you know what, I have been guilty of overworking in the past, but you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. It's going to be the Six of Pentacles all the way for me. Give, receive. Okay? So you're receiving. And what I mean, Aries, is whereas you were giving before, the art of receiving is an art form as well. It's allowing people to love you by not giving too much, not trying too hard. You give that person space to love you. If we're talking about love, right? So it's great, giving and receiving. So you're starting to learn about receiving now. And now that you've learned about receiving, that you're worthy of receiving, Aries, you're walking away from anything that's non-reciprocal from August. That's in love, life, and work, guys. All right. Outcome for you guys, we've got Nine of Rods in reverse, letting go of burdens. All right. And then the 10 of rods. So the outcome is you are on the last hurdle. If you look at this card, right? So this dude, he's got 10 rods. He's absolutely, in English they say knackered. This guy is tired, okay? And he's nearly there at this village that's just in, and he's still going, he's still on his feet. So Aries, August, you're going to find an energetic shift within you. You're going to be carrying the 10 of wands because you're nearly there. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and you are realizing where you've let yourself down in the past. No one can change my state unless I give them permission. I'm going for things with the Fool. All right, I'm coming out of the hermit mode now, and I'm going to chase destiny, what's rightfully mine. What's that mantra? I don't chase, I attract. What's rightfully mine will find its way to me. And that might be your attitude, Aries. And it comes by not giving too much. Sounds counterproductive, but it's healthy selfishness is key, all right, throughout the month of August. Just want to have a look at the past there, all right? I don't want to touch too much on your past, Aries. It's all about the Fool now, new journey, okay? But it's been a struggle for you guys. You've gone through a lot over the last, I'd say 6 months, maybe longer for some of you, but it's been, two steps forward, three steps back, giving people the benefit of the doubt only for them to do the same shit again, And it's like, I need to cull this. Recent past, so, reciprocity was key. And then we got the Page of Wands. There was no new start in a situation that might have been once reciprocal at the start, right? When it was in its young phases, like the honeymoon period, and then it drifts off and you think, this ain't working. Somebody might wish, Aries, or maybe this is you, but somebody might wish that they could have done things differently with you. I'm just saying. So Aries, look, the reason why it's all happening, you're not about reuniting with anyone. It's certainly with tricksters or anyone that's out for their own gain. So, when we're trying to manifest, it's like, we're trying to manifest something, which is for the highest good of all. So the other person in that equation, they're getting benefits too. So you're not about reuniting with anyone that in it for their own gain and insulting your intelligence along the way. I have no idea as to why you were interested in me in reverse. You know why these people are interested and why they come towards you now, Aries, and what you've done in the past in order to, letting them in. You realize that, God, it's hard to get rid of these, or it's painful, I needed attention for all the wrong reasons, and you gave it freely, too freely. So Aries, these kind of people that come your way looking for attention, magicians in reverse here, you see it very clearly now, how you were giving your attention freely. And then they end up taking advantage of you, trying to put you in shitty situations, holding hands in misery and all these kind of things. You're not about that, the last couple of weeks of August. Sorry, the month of August. It was hard to move on, but I needed to for my own sanity. This is the Tower moment coming your way. It's a good Tower moment. It's a shock how much you're going to put little work into situations, Aries. It was hard to move on, but I needed to for my own sanity. And that's where you've been, for a lot of you, for the last 6 months, maybe a year, really moving on or trying to. Okay. There's going to be people, Aries, you are going to get yourself out there a little bit more throughout the month of August. And there's going to be people that are really happy to see your face, okay? It's got like a reflection, an outward show of your internal work. People are going to be happy to see you, okay? There are too many people involved in this. This is an outside influence, by the way. Somebody might have been a bit smug, Aries, all right? I'm just saying. And there was too many people involved. But you see straight through it now. You're not putting work into those kind of situations, all right? So watch out for someone fairly smug around you, all right? Your fears... Some of you do fear, attention, all right? And what I mean by that, Aries, is you fear the wrong attention. The wrong attention for all the wrong reasons. It's a fear of yours. But you know what? It really is just, give a little, see what comes back. Always one foot in the wisdom well throughout August, Aries. Show, don't tell. Don't listen to words, actions. I'm protective of you. Sorry if I seem controlling. This is an outcome for you. I'm protective of you. Sorry if I seem controlling. Some of you will be doing some work, inner work, of how you might come across as controlling when it's just purely done out of care. And so caring versus controlling, you might temper that a little bit just by looking at the outward reflection of people's behavior around you. So there might be certain things about your character that you might just trim down a little bit, Aries, okay? Just for some of you. It's not a personal reading, remember, guys. But some of you have learned about, overprotecting situations that don't really figure in your life anymore, So some of you, you might be surrounded by some people that are a little bit smug and these kind of things, all right? And they find it very healing to be around you. And you protect those people in the past, but now you're not protecting them anymore because you're walking away from anything that is non-reciprocal, Aries, throughout the month of August, right? What's going to be key, all right? Something for you to pay attention to throughout this month, but it looks good. It's a good reading, Aries. And you'll notice that you want to get out there a little bit more and doing things in line with who you are and your passions and your life path, as opposed to showing up where people might be and all that. I don't think you're in that kind of mood. It really is about, let's keep it moving. I'm not a sitting target anymore here. Inspiration, Aries. And, this is what you need. Inspiring people. Out with the old, in with the new, in line with the fall. It's about, taking risks. Let me find out what that's all about. The detectives of the zodiac, right? Curious minds, inspiration, ideas, spark, conception, impulse. And this is you now, following destiny, getting out there again, Aries, after a time of reflection, guidance, support, love, signs, and direction. All right. So you are the color purple might be quite significant. Your spiritual side, you're gonna feel inspired because you've been guided, Aries, and you're going to find that quite inspiring. Pay attention to your dreams, messages, signs, symbols, and guidance. Look at all these colors, all right? Purple, your spirituality is key, all right? David Bowie came out with a quote. What did he say? It was quite interesting, actually. I read it and I kind of laughed to myself, but it was like, religion is for people that are scared of hell. Spirituality is for people that have been there. And what it is, Aries, I think you're coming out of a bit of a dark night of the soul where you've had to really look at yourself, look at how you let yourself down, how you might have betrayed yourself by making yourself available to people that, to be honest, they had other agendas or, they needed attention for all the wrong reasons. And you played into their games because they might have been tricksters, Aries. You might have been projecting your integrity onto people only to betray yourself, And I think really you're getting clear about it now, But people are going to be happy to see your face, all right? So good for you, Aries. If it's about love throughout the month of August, a message for love, okay? What's around love for Aries throughout the month of August? Children, your love life is being affected by children. Okay, just for some of you, that could be as much as, somebody wants to have children and you don't, or the other way around, or somebody has young children and you don't want to take on a ready-made family, but children might be quite key, all right? And then this situation involves marriage. Deception, okay? Someone is wearing a fake mask in this relationship. Just for some of you, Aries, they... for some reason, I don't know why, but people that are already committed and got stuff going on, they find Aries very attractive, and some of them have kids and they're married and they're deceptive. They're wearing fake masks. They really are the magician, I don't think you've got time for that. And so, you still might be attracting those kind of characters in different bodies, Aries, but, you're not going to go with it because, you've no idea as to why they're interested in you. They've got other shit going on, Just takes you into messy situations where you're all about destiny, keeping it moving with the wheel of fortune here. No longer, willing to be stuck or a sitting target. You're moving, Aries. And people need to keep up with you, don't they? One of these, what's quite key for you now, the month of August. I'm liking the reading though, it's good. A lot of self-accountability here, Aries. Being very self-aware now of how I've let myself down. And making promises, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm worthy. Love, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And so, people are going to be very happy to see your face, all right? You're going to come across as being very loving because you've been through hell, Aries. So we need to see the duality of life. If we've been heartbroken, and we meet somebody new, we can take care of their heart because you've been heartbroken. Does that make sense? And so I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So people are going to find you very loving after you've come out of maybe what was a bit of a dark night of the soul. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And some of you will actually celebrate your inner work and be very thankful of your spirituality. Color purple, as I say, might be key, significant. Surround yourself with it, even if it's just an A4 piece of paper, purple paper, and stick it on the wall. Um, those kind of things, all right? Let's have a look. Where was I going to go now? If you were a song, I want to look at that smug person, by the way. If you're a song, look, Unbreak My Heart, Tony Braxton, just jumped out at me, guys. Give it a listen to it. If it's not your genre, keep it moving. Unbreak My Heart, breaking free from anything that's non-reciprocal, family, jobs, lovers, whatever, Aries. You've no time for anything that is an insult to your intelligence as a loving human being, okay? Wanted to just have a look at this smug person now. Tell me more. Somebody around you, Aries, they're a bit smug. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Look, there is someone still in your energetic field, right? Could have been from a long time ago, guys, all right? This is someone quite smug. They think that they might be able to heal the situation with you, or this was someone that came in and came out, and, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Bit of a sweet talker, trickster, there's too many people involved in this. This person might have been an attention whore, but what was in it for Aries, really? I'm walking away from non-reciprocal things here. It's just not in line with who I am, and I'm not going to betray myself anymore. Starting August, I'm the Fool. I'm going for new things, inspiring things that came out. Inspiration, Aries. I want to leave you one of these now. This is a positive message. Looks great. Loads of work coming to the forefront. What you've done, Aries. Some of you are going to be very thankful that you've gone through a bit of a dark night of the soul, and you're going to feel free. And not only that, you're going to be spotting, these kind of people coming your way energetically. You don't even have to engage with them anymore. You just be looking at their body language. You're going, oh, I could see this, seen this before. Forgive, Aries. Whether in person or in your mind, okay, move forward and forgive. The only person you're hurting but holding on to resentment is yourself. I don't know, some kind of trickster there. Bit of a smug person, this person. I don't know whether they still think they have some kind of a chance with you, Aries. Might have had a little bit of a borderline personality disorder, I'm just saying. They might fluctuate, a bit of a borderline personality disorder, but they also might be, when they don't get their own way or their tricks aren't working, their games aren't working, they become a little bit codependent. So it's an outside influence. Whether you're going to interact with that person, I don't know, but they're in the energy of this reading. So if you know who they are, then, leave a comment down below, guys. But it looks like a great month. Okay, you are going for new things, Aries. You are walking away from anything that doesn't sit in line with reciprocity about, giving and receiving, because you've learned to receive now. That's what it's all about, allowing people to love you. And that's by you not putting in all the work. The other person has to do something too. And you are not a free ride for anybody, Aries, And people are going to be really happy to see your face. And they might feel quite lucky to be around you with the Wheel of Fortune. It's a card of luck, right? So, Aries, have an amazing August. It looks great. It really does. I'm really liking this reading for you. My name's Drew. As you know, this has been Modern Tarot. If you like the content, please like, share, or subscribe. It means I can continue to do this for free for you. If you want a personal reading, you can reach out at moderntarot.net directly or browse the YouTube Modern Tarot store, and I'll do my best to give you some clarity on your personal situations. In the meantime, Aries, have an amazing August. I'll see you back here for another reading. Take care. Bye.